Hey there. We're I'm well we in Sicomatic are going to play our Dominion match for the league. And this is my second match of the season. I went 3-3 against Marcus. This is actually so far a complete reproduction of the previous season in that I played Marcus first and then Sicomatic. I think. I don't know. There was a Tracer, but Tracer was second or third. It's not important or interesting. So this board doesn't have draw apart from Sentry, so you can maybe make that do some not Sentry, sorry, apart from Shantytown. You can maybe make that do some stuff for you. For instance, here I'm going to have the option of opening with a Shantytown without taking on debt, whereas he won't be able to do that. Which is probably what I'm going to do. Courtier has some targets, but they're not necessarily tremendous. I guess what I'm thinking is Sentry into pardon me. Sentry into either. Hopefully I draw a couple of states off this, but either way it's nice to hit the Shantytown. I guess the question for me is whether I want treasure maps or more of just legionary. Could do both, of course. Second Shantytown may be a bit greedy at this point. I could have done it. It wouldn't have been that bad, but so far I'm hitting nice. That's a fine Sentry trash, of course. I may go ahead and take a treasure map, to be honest. It's not clear to me anyway what the... I mean, if you weren't going to go treasure map, you could take... You could certainly draw some here with Shantytowns. What are the multi-types? I mean, Fortune Teller and Legionnaire are only multi-types. Those aren't that great for courtier pairs. On the other hand, so I'm pretty likely to hit the shuffle, so I think I don't want the treasure map yet. Obviously I could just buy the Legionary, right? We're gonna go with a third Sentry. We may get to play it this turn. See what he goes for. He might just go for the legionary now. He does. I think that's perfectly reasonable. So, all the sentries got one trash in there. That's fine. We've only got five-ish junk cards left. There may be something to just buying the legionary and then buying the golds. The treasure maps. I mean, the treasure maps do come online a little bit faster, I hope. Though, if he starts attacking me next turn, well, he probably won't that fast. The treasure maps are not... Basically, I spend 2 turns, and on the 3rd turn, I trigger them, but I probably don't get anything else good on that turn. Maybe tax something. So it's not hugely better than, say, buying a legionary now, and then buying a gold the next turn, and buying a gold the next turn. The difference being basically one having the attack versus having the extra gold thing. That's assuming I hit the ideal case with the treasure maps. I probably will be able to manage the ideal case with the sentries. I'm playing this kind of slow. Well... I don't think I'll miss 4 again. I kind of want to buy the treasure maps just because of the, you know, how often do you get to? I need to make sure to get a silver in here, which I can't necessarily guarantee. This treasure map, it's bad this particular draw. I need to find a silver, of course. Which I have a reasonably good shot at doing, but not like the best ever, I guess. He'll be able to buy gold here, I'm sure. I guess I'm not sure, but I think so. Maybe not. He may only have 5. If he has an estate in hand, he doesn't have a... Well, that'll get him there for sure. So, hopefully we spy a silver here on this play. Otherwise it's going to be rough. I have to assume he just takes the gold. Just start attacking next turn. I find the courtier a little bit odd. So I'm going to get the estate as well. So this should be for sure a hit. Make it into the last coppers, or may get to kill the last coppers as well. With a really lucky draw, I could have hit. I'm going to be able to. So I'm going to actually forego trashing here. Unless he gets the gold this turn. I guess he can't. He's out of draw now. So I'm going to forego trashing this time in order to buy a legionary. So basically I can necropolis the shantytown and get the golds on top and then draw one. And buy a legionary. So I'll like my deck at that point. The really gutsy thing would be to play the sentry, hope you draw another sentry and get to trash the coppers. That would be sort of a further afield play, but I don't need to do that. So I assume you just buy gold. Unless you're really committed to drawing cards, in which case you might go Minstrel Shantytown. If that's what you think is going to work. But I think I would probably just do what he did there. It's pretty funny, I don't actually get like after he attacks me with the legionary here, which I assume he'll be able to do, he may end up just getting as many golds from the courtier as I end up with from my whatever it's called. My treasure maps. I mean, he probably will. So he took them. What did he take? He took the buy. He took action buy. That's interesting. So I guess he is gonna try and build some more. So here I think I have a copper and a. I'm not sure what I have left, actually. I just have a copper and a sentry left. So if I find the sentry, if the sentry's top deck, I probably will get to do something nice, but it's not, so I don't. Yeah, this is going to be a bit troublesome. I may just kill a shantytown. I guess it's probably still decent. To keep around whenever it comes up. It kind of is not great with this legionary. So the hand I drew there was a little unfortunate, but that's okay. I'm certainly going to be, whatever, that doesn't matter. Going to be behind here. But that's life. I hope he had his... I wasn't looking at his cards. I hope he had a shantytown in his last hand, but probably not. No, he's got to have the minstrel now. So he'd probably get to draw with the shantytown, actually. The minstrel with the shantytown is quite nice. I guess he didn't get to his legionary before the... I mean, of course he got there, but not... This is rough. I don't even know if that's the right thing to discard or whatever, but that's pretty rough. To keep finding the coppers. Yeah, this is just not gonna work. And of course the duchy is just as bad. I mean, this doesn't... He's gonna find it. Well, he may not get to it all, but... Probably he did, actually. I don't know how unpleasant the whistling sounds through the microphone. If it's just like a... The problem with keeping the shantytown is like you just can miss it, right? Jeez, this is brutal. So I didn't play a legionary last time, so there is like a legionary in the bottom cards. But I'm also quite likely to just draw it. There's not a copper, so I guess it's better to do it like this. This is a pretty good hand, actually. More or less, no matter what. I wonder if I should trash the silvers. I mean, they're fine with 2 golds, right? So, probably not. I could have tossed both of the silvers, of course, but I thought I ought to just keep one. Well, it probably was better to actually toss this silver, but too late now. So you don't have any coppers anymore, so now it's just the green cards that you can draw with your and shantytown, technically. If you keep a legionary gold in hand to a legionary attack. that then becomes your issue, is the shantytown or green. So Sentry is basically like a null, like it's just nothing. I still don't know if the shantytown is worth keeping. Probably is. This is just not gonna. I had too many $7 hands. I was likely losing regardless, but it just wasn't gonna happen with the with all the $7 hands. He has a nice thing. I mean, the courtiers really did gain him as much gold as the treasure map, and he bought one card, right? And it's also very flexible. So as far as choices that I made, the treasure map gets just badly outclassed by the courtier here. I'm sure he'll have in the province here, yeah. So, but I felt like I needed to buy the treasure map when I could even somewhat justify it. Not that I could actually justify it, but I don't know why he hits ready so fast. I didn't have the player order set. People do that sometimes. So I've got the 5-2, which is fine here. Well, it's not that good. I would probably rather have a 3-4 actually. So that's not great. There's no villages. Well, there's sort of a village. Royal Carriage is a village. I can go rebuild. It'll just beat the heck up, I'm pretty sure. The draw is kind of crappy. But the trashing's very good. Or pretty good. Of course they can attack you. There's some other 5s you could consider even if you were going to go rebuild. Like you could open with a Royal Seal or a Treasury or something. Wouldn't be. Treasury's a little harder, but the Royal Seal's a possibility. No, more look at this. The 5-2 is really garbage. If I had a nice 2, then it would be fine. But without the 2, we're really going to be hurting. So Royal Seal is still a consideration, just to kind of make up for your failure to accelerate. Obviously, the big engine deck can score a lot with Wild Hunt or Provinces or Tomb. I think you just can't. I know you just can't play a. Can't play rebuild, but the 5-2 sets. So what can I apply? So it could be. I mean, you could get the Wild Hunt just for cycling. That's not like totally crazy. But I guess I'm leaning a bit to the Royal Seal. I mean, I would probably open with a. I could just open with the Lone or the Young Witch, I guess. Treasury is fine. This is going to be painful, I'm pretty sure. The question for me is whether I bite the bullet and buy a Treasure on the opening. Basically. And it probably should be that. Hopefully he has it too. That would be nice. I don't really think Caravan is the best opening at all. You certainly want Caravans, but I would not open it. I would definitely either go a double trash or get an attack or get Gladiator or something. So I'm not a fan of that particular buy, but you know, it's not like that bad. It's certainly an okay buy. Not gonna lose you the game or anything like that. I don't love it though. The bad thing that it would have, of course, been nice to hit the Royal Seal first. I probably should have got Loan rather than the Forager, but I'm going to top deck a Young Witch, I think. There's some collision issues, but, you know. Not this time. See if he buys the Loan or something. I'll probably either top deck a Royal Carriage or a Treasury. Maybe Treasury at this stage. I'm going to, of course, be able to do a little better here if I get the Young Witches sooner in my shuffles. I don't really like skipping Young Witch. I'm not quite seeing it, but it's a Wild Hunt. That's nice. Fortunately, I didn't find an estate here. But I would have been reasonably happy. It would have helped quite a bit to trash an estate, but that's fine. I can't decide if I want a silver or want the Gladiator now. Obviously, I have a bit of a terminal problem if I get the Gladiator, but not really a huge terminal problem. Here are these estates again. I mean, if he keeps up with the trashing, you know. So this is, you know, of course, the worst draw possible. Quite unlikely too, but anyway. He's going to be able to play a wild hunt. He'll probably call it on... Oh, okay. He doesn't have the wild hunt. So this is either silver or royal seal on bottom here. Thankfully, it's the royal seal. I need to get a wild hunt, but I'll probably royal carriage for it. He can call wild hunt on this thing, or his treasury, or sorry, call royal carriage. Or on the forager, which I guess is more likely. So definitely he's, you know, he's keeping up with the cleanliness while still buying fives, so I think he'll probably be okay. He seems to be keeping up with the junking anyway. Just fine. Definitely keeping up with the junking fine. I think I'll just save that royal carriage. I may trash the young witch at some point. It didn't seem to. Doesn't seem to be an issue for him. I mean, it's costing him some cards, I guess. You know, it is slowing his draw down somewhat. Do I have the gladiator? I must. Alright, so... Okay. So now we're in a bit of business. I didn't get the royal seal. Oh, that sucks. I mean, I can draw for it. That really sucks. I have to think about the money. Boy, it would have helped to get the royal seal to set up the next turn to top deck royal carriage wild hunt. Oh boy. I have to count the money now. So if I trash the 2 estates and play the young witch, I'll lose a copper and a gladiator. I guess I'll still have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I still have 10. I just won't get to play the gladiator, which is not a huge deal. So I think I'm gonna do that. This is okay. I only chose to. I would have just trashed the Young Witch, or I wouldn't have trashed it immediately. But if the silver had been on the bottom instead of the Royal Seal, I wouldn't have played the Young Witch. I would have played the Gladiator. Surely he's gonna call this on the Wild Hunt. I mean, I can't imagine he doesn't want to draw up. Like, I can't possibly see that being not being the thing he wants to do. I could have, of course, not played the Young Witch anyway, but it just looked so he doesn't have any money. Now, I'm gonna definitely stop playing the Young Witch. So that looks okay for me, although I expect he'll probably add some money this turn. Probably, maybe Gladiator Silver. I think that would be reasonable. I'll probably try to take the points from the Wild Hunt here, which will at least help take away some of this points lead he has. Actually, hopefully by the end of my turn I will have the points lead. No guarantees, but no guarantees at all. I'm gonna see at least 5 cards here, but I have a hard time. He could just get gold. He buys Banquet. I'm not sure about that. If he's gonna double Banquet, that seems... I mean, he's got the Foragers, but it's really just trading. It's a lot of stuff to draw up to get not very much money. I wouldn't double. I can see one. Yeah, that looks fine to me. This is not the card I want to see just yet. That is the card I want to see just yet. Okay. Alright, we do have our Royal Seal. Excellent. He can fail to draw. I mean, he's got a lot of Royal Carriages, so those are nice, and they play well with his treasuries, of course. I guess I left Forger and Silver on bottom. Those are kind of fine to be there. It's not like immediately obvious to me that I want to get rid of the Young Witch at this point, but probably. I wonder if I can afford. I wonder if I could do the double banquet. If I get royal carriage. Actually. Yeah, I might want to do that actually. I have to double banquet to do that. Yeah, no, I don't think I can take 4 coppers. I could have a forager banquet. Nah, no, I don't really like that. Yeah, not with having just gained the estate. I don't think so. I was very lucky there to pull the royal carriage like I did. He's super thin. Super thin. Fortunately, I seem to be on the parity of where the wild hunts are a little bigger for me. I don't know exactly how we get to that. Sorry, I hit the microphone. I don't know exactly how we get to that pattern, but I seem to be on the upbeats of that. Or at least I was on the first upbeat. First of all, I'm reading this whistling comments now. I'm an excellent whistler. I just don't, just the microphone can't capture the full power and body of my tunes. So Johnson Tracer can just, stuff it. Sicomatic, of course, draws his cards because, his deck has like 10 cards in it. That's not an insult, that's just the facts. If I were him, I would buy the last 2 royal carriages here. I thought about just buying them out on my turn even. I think I probably could have afforded the double banquet. I was just not drawing my deck. Well, I was drawing my deck, I just chose not to, but so we'll see. He ups the foragers, which is fine with me. I don't know what his last card is. Because I still have, 2 forager plays in me. That should actually help me a decent amount. I will very likely add a caravan this turn. Oh, he took the wild hunt money. Or, sorry, not money. He took the wild hunt points. So he's kind of choosing to back off of that. We're not really at 3 pile levels. Goes big banquets. I would empty the royal carriages. Like if I were him, I think you just got to. Win that split. it's the only like super important thing here. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It would be nice if he'd get punished one time for having double banqueted and having 6 royal carriages. You're not really going to get punished because of the treasury. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. He could do it, it's just hard. Just not likely. There's not any world where I can 3-pile here. Unfortunately, there might be a world where he can on the following turn. And there's not going to be a whole lot I can do, I guess, to defend against that. So this time we didn't get the draw at all. So I guess on the plus side, I didn't really put out enough stuff to I didn't even really gain enough stuff to make it an issue. So it's not hardly a problem. I almost feel like I need a province, but that's gonna really not work with the treasury. If I had the royal carriage now and I could put another treasury on top, I could do that. But as it is, it just can't actually work. So I cannot green in that sense because I have to not I have to top deck a treasury. Otherwise the turn doesn't work. I feel like I can't really maneuver around him especially well here. I'm gonna get a forager and probably banquet for a wild hunt. And then the question is like, what else should I get? I don't know that we're gonna get. Okay, he can't 3-pile. I don't think that would be something. And I can't really gain additional wild hunts. They don't help me, especially. So I guess that's what I'm gonna do. It's not the most compelling thing ever. I assume he already found a wild hunt, otherwise he would be calling the royal carriage again until he found one. But if he's got a wild hunt, you can just start drawing up to make your plans a little clearer. So, okay, so he did have to call it again. That's kind of nice. I guess with the number of wild hunts I now have, it actually makes sense to call it on treasuries for the most part. Or foragers. I'm not sure how this is all going to play out. who will draw up here. I don't think he can pile, but so he has one wild hunt left, which he'll take the points on that. That's still just no risk of 3 pile. This is a neat board, though. I wish I hadn't had the 5-2. You know, the Royal Seal made a pretty good effort at keeping me kind of competitive here. I'm sure he's just looking for finishes, which there may be one with three wheel carriages. He may have a win. Well, okay. I mean, that's not the case, but he can also like leave royal carriages on the mat and then be pretty assured of having a good turn next turn. I'm never going to have the gains to threaten what he can with 6 royal carriages. It's just not going to happen. So he left 2 on. He left 3 on. So he can still dud if he didn't top deck a treasury? I mean, probably the treasury's just there right now. Probably what happened. I have 4 wild hunts. 3 is things. So in theory I can pile out. I don't think I can win. It would be about 6 points and then just not enough. I think just not enough. I mean, he has a number of outs. You can have like a forager on top is fine, as long as he has. As long as he has a whatever with it. I'm just trying to think before I start playing if there's much I can do. Or rather anything. Five, 6. And just a little too far behind on the points. So I have to play for him studying, I think. I mean, unless I can get to like 30 or something. The only nice thing is that I can, I guess, forge out the whole hand. I kind of have to like plan the whole deck. I don't know how many cards I have left in my deck. Or if a treasury is losing. Like, this is something you could map out. Like, if you knew your deck contents, you could just calculate it. There's 2 wild hunts, there's gladiator silver, there's blah blah blah. 2 wild hunts, gladiator silver. 1 more royal carriage. A copper. The caravan, I think I already did that, but it doesn't really matter. 3 foragers. So I still have like 8 pardon me, like 8 cards to draw. I don't think this is right. But I'm obviously missing some cards that I have. I probably was never down to 0 coppers. Maybe I was. Excuse me. Just not. I'm gonna have to lower the estates here. Maybe I'll just leave the royal carriage again. I mean, I'm gonna get beat up on this next turn. I don't think it especially matters. What am I sitting at right now? With the gladiator, I'm up to 12, 14, 16. So I can double province, and I'll get a point. So that'll be 13 more points. So it'll be like 3 ahead. That's just immaterial. So then the challenge here would be to just like banquet for treasury to top deck, because otherwise you can't draw at all. And by duchy, I don't know. Does the duchy even really matter? Double province doesn't really help me all that much. I'm not even sure the duchy helps me all that much due to the... I mean, I need him to dud, right? I'm kind of surprised he still doesn't have like a... I mean, as long as he has one forager and one wild hunt, it seems still okay. But I guess he just has a handful of wild hunts or a handful of foragers or something. I don't know that I can actually finish on my turn, though. So that's... I probably didn't actually lower the piles enough from the perspective of trying to finish. But maybe we'll get there still. Maybe he'll buy an estate. My deck is a little fat now. I don't need a lot of money, and I do have a reasonable amount of money. I think the loan was greedy, and I don't think it does anything for him. But I'm not really sure what his goal is here. Maybe it's just to buy something. That's really strange to me. Because I think that's quite bad. I'm not really sure if it makes it that much easier. That was sort of not a nice thing to say. I have the opening hand for sure. Basically, I just need $17. Should be good for it. Maybe not. I probably won't even need that much, right? Just Dutchy will be fine by the time I'm done trashing. So I only need $14. I mean, I could still whiff. It's probably the wrong way to play that, actually. um, I want to kind of check this. So I may have it in hand. Probably not. Like if I do the gladiators for coins both times, that would give me up to 9. And then I could forage for 6. What did I say I needed? Like 14 or something? I mean, this has got to just be it, right? I only need the... Thinking wild hunt, copper, gladiator on the royal seal twice would give plenty of money to do whatever. So it worked out. He did dud. I liked pretty much everything he did there for the most part. I don't really see the point of the loan myself. Sorry, excuse me. But it's not like this is gonna take 5 hours to play. Apparently, this is not gonna. We're playing really slow. I mean, that last board was hard, but this is another wild hunt board. 5-2 would be fine here because you would get trading post. Fortunately, this is not. This is more of a bridge troll kind of thing than a wild hunt thing. I mean, you're not maneuvering around the estates as much, I don't think, but maybe it tends to be one of those things where at the end of the wild hunt games you have to at least stop and think about that kind of stuff. So I'm going to open Fishing Village Sacrifice. I guess you could, in theory, do a rats. It's not like out of the question. I don't know what I guess you could do a ghost town opening, but it a lot of times won't get you anything. You don't really need the village yet. And the fishing village at least is money. I mean, you do the rats opening, I guess, in anticipation of getting sacrifices. I don't know which direction you do that. Whether it's better to get the the sacrifice first or the rats. I guess I don't really understand the ghost town opening. Maybe it does something for you. I mean, if you hit 5, of course it does something for you. But like in general, does it do something for you? I don't know. I get really confused. By everything. You do have to hit 4 again for your sacrifice to sort of pan out. On the other hand, if you get like a I'm not really sure. Ghost towns are fine. They're a little. This is kind of bad, but what can you do? I assume he'll be able to buy like a wild hunt or something. No, he doesn't. Okay, that's nice at least. It was of course a bummer that I didn't get to play the fishing village. That's going to slow me down considerably, but next shuffle should be a little better. At some point, the ghost towns do become appealing because of the sort of the expedition effect. I don't know when that is, but I'll probably go with a wild hunt here. I'm very jealous of the trading post. At this point, it's just too late for me. But he should win quite easily, I think. I do need a rats. I'm gonna trash the haunted mirror. No ghost, just this will be another wild hunt. What did he buy? Bought a wild hunt. Probably next 5 will be a troll. But for now I like the hunts. He's not. It's not as bad as I kind of imagined it would be. At this stage. I've got a fishing village in here. I'm not particularly worried about the points. If they get really high, we'll think about it, but for now I'm more concerned about cleaning up. I do expect him to get a troll. He's got a nice deck now, for sure. My deck, not so nice. Oh, gain the ghost. I was thinking ghost town. I'm like, how did you do that? That doesn't seem possible. This is pretty nice to hit this. So I will do this way. Maybe I should have bought a bridge troll. I'm not sure. Hopefully bottom decked his bridge troll. Oh, bummer, he didn't. Well, that's life. I need to buy bridge troll this turn. Now we're both probably not going to whiff much. I say that. We could either of us could still whiff, but it's not that likely. He's going to get a nice ghost, maybe a double bridge troll. Or something, double wild hunt. Do have to at least think about the points at this point. I have 3 rats. Something in my eye. I would probably get a wild hunt with that if I were him, but there's some other things you could get. If you're real greedy, you can do double bridge troll, or you could do like a ghost town now. I like the wild hunt though. I hope his ghost is bomb deck, but too bad didn't find the troll. Honestly, either one is fine, but the wild hunt's probably a little better. Pardon me. So I think we will be able to take the cash here. Oh, you draw so much with the rats. I didn't really even think about that. You draw a whole bunch. Yeah, we got not the cash, but the I keep saying that because I'm a little on the slow side. I believe the last card is rats. So here. This is kind of the wrong timing of this stuff. I have way more actions than probably I want. On this turn, I would rather have it changed a bit. So I have to think about whether I want to double bridge troll now or what. He's gonna get another bridge troll in play. I mean, besides the point lead, I'm in a bit of a pickle. I would probably go troll Ghost Town if I were going to gain another rats here. Of course, I could gain a couple more rats here. I'm playing super slow. The silvers are going to be just nice for him to actually be able to keep affording 5s. This is not going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway. Well, it looks like it might work. Very nice to find the sacrifice, of course. I will need to gain some rats just so the sacrifices aren't sad. At some point in this game, I'm going to try to, like, sacrifice a ghost town. Thinking it's an action, it's not going to do a thing. Ooh, man. Sacrifice on rats is a pretty tasty play. I don't know if it's the thing to do here necessarily, but it just the effect in and of itself is pretty handy. It's super nice to have the coppers, or not the coppers, have the silvers. I guess I have the fishing villages is my source of So this did not pan out because I didn't find any fishing villages, and I've got that really sucked that I didn't find any of the fishing villages. Well, there's just 2, but still. So this is really not going to work. And I'm also, no, I already lost that money. So that's already gone. But this is just not going to work. He is going to win this game. Barring some really strange stuff. I'm probably going to even have to, like, sacrifice a fishing village or something, which is no good. Gosh, that was probably an awful sound. Sorry. My hand just smashed into the microphone. I probably takes the point. Okay, take the points. So I guess he didn't have the actions to play all of that stuff. So he's gonna need to buy some ghost towns or fishing villages. He's still just so far ahead. He's gonna be able to do a big duchy thing pretty easily. Or even a reasonably good province thing with the silvers. I mean, I'm probably just dudding. Like, that's all I'm probably doing, unless I have a rats top decked, rats or a wild hunt top decked followed by, like, more of those things. Is really the only way I'm going to draw here. I mean, I'll do desperation sacrifice on a fishing village, but it's going to really hurt my chances. I have two rats in the deck, 2 wild hunts. I don't know how fat the deck is beyond that, but there's not like a it's not like awful odds of drawing one of those cards, but I'm not going to be able to beat 6 bridge trolls though. That he's going to get all in play next turn. One thing I didn't ever really look for was whether there was a cemetery by. That was probably There may have been a point where that was the thing to do. I didn't even ever think about it again, beyond noting it was in the kingdom at the start. My last draw was fairly unfortunate, although it wasn't that unlikely given how it was. I find that really odd, that play, to be honest. So he's going to be up to 8 gains next turn. So he'll be reasonably close to just a pile out. What did I draw? A copper? Yeah. So I have to do this. And I also have to do this. So I'm... I mean, I can wait to see if he kicks off, but it's not gonna work. The Harbingers are very strange to me. I won't lie. To not increase the... He wasn't able to play all his terminals, right? And so to not increase that count is very strange to me. He's going to be able to take the points, though, so I won't have a points lead anymore. But anyway. And I suppose I probably just lowered the piles enough to make it finish really easy. I mean, I didn't really... Oh, he stopped. Never mind. Okay. Huh. I thought the not buying ghost towns was very, very strange. Like, he was obviously low on actions the previous turn. Now he's getting them. I mean, he should still be totally fine. I guess I can do a rat's pile out? Maybe I could do a rat's pile out. That's what I have to go for. In which case, I should have been thinking about that. I should have had the, I shouldn't have bought that fishing village. I should have bought something else, but I may have a rat's finish here, actually, since he didn't get those tokens. I don't know that I actually have enough draw to make that happen, but certainly going to try for it. The challenge will be I have to play 2 fishing villages, or 2 bridge trolls. This is what I was talking about. I'm not going to make it if I don't win now, so I got to play 3 bridge trolls. It's funny, this would have even worked with 0 because I will have the buy. Yeah, because I don't really have enough coin index to... God bless rats. I wasn't even thinking about the rats pile out ever. I might have even, well, probably not the time before, but yeah, he could have greened it. Also, I think his real problem was not buying ghost towns that previous turn. Like, I don't know why he wouldn't, to be honest. When he was short villages and then he didn't add any. He just bought a bunch of harbingers. It was strange. This is a kind of a big pile, or a big... so I think I'm going to go with bridge page. You can do watchtower page. Doesn't matter. It's gonna be bridge page, or young witch page, or watchtower page. Never mind. It's not worth. I don't understand what he's saying, but it's fine. He could have not had the lack of terminals or the lack of villages by buying ghost towns. Let's just start buying things. Form should be really nice. The reason ghosting bridge troll is fine is you're not gonna have another you're not gonna have another turn like to play the ghost again. You don't need it. It gives you extra buys. That's great. It gets the ghost town or the bridge troll out of your deck. That's great. Like it's still a village kind of effect. This is nice that we both hit the forum. It's nice that I got my forum at the top of this draw. I mean, I don't think Harbinger is a better... I mean, it's a little... You get draw, that's nice from the Harbinger, from the Ghost, but that... Action-wise, I would rather have the other one. The Bridge Troll. Well, buy-wise, mainly. Treasure Hunter hides, but that's okay. It's allowed to hide some. I think forums are probably about the best thing on the board here. This is either going to be a second bridge or just a pass. I have to play the Treasure Hunter. It's a double silver, which is not ideal, but it's what it is. What would not have been crazy if he had noticed that I hadn't played my Treasure Hunter yet. What would have been real nice there would have been a strategic Lost City to make my warrior miss the shuffle. Having gained all those cards, I can't afford to buy another card here. It just doesn't make sense at this point. I'll have to start buying Lost Cities. They're the only real draw. Obviously, you can just try to have 1,000 forums, which is good too, but... Yeah, that would have been real nice, actually, if he'd noticed that and hit me with the Lost City. That would have been pretty smart. I, of course, I would never notice that for my opponent. I mean, the only reason I noticed it is because it was on my side. I would never think to do that to my opponent. I guess I can start looking for it now, but... I don't know when you start buying the lost cities. Gotta be sometime, but forums are still quite good. With so many silvers. There's going to be just something to maybe graining a little earlier here. I don't know if you'll get the draw to do a real bridge mega turn or not. I'm not worried about the bridge split because there's crowns. So I mean, as long as you have like 2 or 3, it's fine. I may not play this other treasure hunter depending. Oh, he trashed it. That's fine. I can live with that. I would have liked to get an additional whatchamacallit. I will very likely get to the... I shouldn't have said anything. Okay. Alright. That was a fast turn. There, we got it. Alright, here we go. Now we're ready for this bridge. You do your best to get the forums. What do you get? You get this hand. Maybe he'll buy Lost City and rescue me. This is a funny hand, though. Shoot, I don't even know. I might get a... I can't get a watchtower. I'll probably just pass. Like, I could buy a page. It's not gonna hurt me. Alright. There you go. What a life. I don't really know what the pages do for me, but... Man, the forums, they're not here. He'll get to play his hero this turn, maybe. Hopefully not. I would love it if that's bottom decked. If it is, then he has to play like a forum or something to get it. So that didn't happen, but I would... Well, he could double Lost City, he could double forum. Either one is probably fine. Yeah, that's fine. My forms being, I have like four of them or something. Them being all in the bottom is really quite sad, but nothing I can do about it. It means they effectively do nothing for me the first couple because they're gonna, I won't be to a shuffle, so they're gonna be basically just garbage. He's gonna do good work here, unfortunately. Maybe get to draw a little with his watchtower. He'll have to decide, I guess, whether he thinks it's better to draw or not draw with it. But this form stuff is pretty punishing. But, you know, I mean, I have enough to make the deck run, so it was not a good shuffle for me, but that's life. So we'll see if he finishes the forums off now. He'll get some lost cities. We'll see how many. It was just a bad sequence for me to get the treasure hunt, the heavier treasure hunter, and then I did get champion down first, but not really in a meaningful way. I find the heavy bridges pretty... I mean, is he going to get another watchtower? I find that less inspiring, just in general, than draw. Could be here that you just... I may be going too much on the Lost Cities. Obviously, you don't care a thing about the action. Whether you care enough about the draw versus... This at least allows the second forum here to not be a garbage forum. It at least gets into the shuffle. So I had 5. I had 11. I bottom decked 5 forums. That slowed me down so much. I don't mind losing these silvers. It doesn't matter. That is just like so harmful. I need to get a watchtower, I think, for a number of reasons. I can't really see... This should work out perfectly. That's really nice. Somehow I have exact draw. Okay. That's pretty neat. That's pretty nice. I can live with that. He's gonna have to get real lucky, I think, to make it. I can of course help him with Lost Cities, or I can try and rely on crowns, which of course I have a bunch of junk in my deck, so if I don't find forums, then it doesn't work. The watchtower is sort of draw in certain combinations, depending on if he buys Lost Cities or whatnot. With the bridges and crown bridges, it's a great draw. If it's after your Lost Cities, it's pretty mediocre. Or it's just not draw at all. We're not really to the quite to the 3 pile, though we're getting there. We're going to be in range anyway. I will want one more crown for sure. So then it's just whether I want another crown, a Lost City, another crown, or whether I want a bridge. In general, the crowns are better, assuming you pair them with a forum or something. They give you a little more flexibility. Forums are a Lost City. It's not easy though. Crown Lost City Bridge is probably okay. I kind of have a hope that he has a dud, but I don't know if that's a reasonable hope. And I may have... Okay, this is a great starting hand. So I'm up to 7 gains if I crown all of the bridges, which is hard to do. But it's there, which means he is... he's in a little bit... Well, I guess if I do that, I'll just buy the 7 provinces, right? So, he did find his forum. So he's going to make a turn of it. And maybe with the watchtower, he may just have a finish. I don't know how. I don't know if he has the draw for that actually. Or the buy for that. He might just be able to do the big finish now. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he did. 7 provinces, of course, will just win here. Probably 6 provinces will win here. He's moving through the deck. I don't like my chances at this point. It'd be pretty funny if my Lost City buy is what rescued his turn. That would be pretty great. I think between some combination, he's going to be able to get 6 bridge plays. I maybe overestimate how much money exactly we can produce. So I maybe am not ever really in the range for 7 provinces. That might be stretching it. But we'll see what he does. 6 should be doable, but maybe not. With his watchtower, he might be able to make it all happen. If he plays out 4 of these cards, 4 or 5 of these cards, and then draws, you know, a couple more, that could be it. We'll just have to wait and see. We've already been playing for 3 hours. No, we started at 10. Okay, gosh. We've been playing for 2 hours though, and we're halfway done. So this is pretty awful. I think I've probably played slower than him. I don't really know. I don't time it, but I know I thought too much on a couple of things. It's fine, of course, at an end like this where you want to figure out exactly what you've got. So I think we have the same, sort of the same number of gains. Available to us potentially. I think we're both at 7. I wonder if he can get a treasure. Does he have it? See, he has... No, that treasure hunter's in the trash. Never mind. I kept thinking he had a treasure hunter, but that's just not true. He never progressed a second card past page. I kept seeing that 4 treasure hunter and thinking it was in his deck, but it's mine that's in the trash. I was thinking you could really do some watchtower tricks here. To get the cash you need. Maybe he wants to crown us silver? I guess it's not impossible, though it seems a little unlikely. It doesn't make sense. That can't actually be better than crowning a bridge. Because bridge is like silver better. Silver plus, basically. They're obviously a few edge cases, but I kind of think he can probably get a dangerously high amount of VP. There that I just couldn't catch. That was odd. That I don't quite understand. And I guess if you're looking to do, he still had a forum. I think I would have gone down as low as possible. I don't really care if he, I mean, if he wants to ask the undo, I'll give him the undo. I'm not going to suggest it, but if he asks for it, I'll give it to him. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, it's, you can just know how to do it. It's not. So he can, like, I don't know what he can do. He can't lower Lost City or Crown. Well, he can if he scores points. Huh. He has to get the duchy too, right? Yeah. That's interesting. All right. Let's see what we can see. I can't take a tie, right? So I'm gonna have to just wait for a turn and hope he can't finish. Which is possible, but not that likely. And I'm already in a kind of precarious position. I'm gonna crown this for him. I mean, because I'm only gonna take like one province anyway, and then probably crown. He has to really dud, like a hard dud, because if he pseudo duds, it's not really good enough. Pseudo dud will not cut it. I do need a launch tower. I wish I had gotten one at some point, like my last turn maybe. I guess there's a point of consideration of when do you stop if you know you have enough to do it. I want to do this turn and I know there's like, say, Lost City down in the bottom, which is the status right now, or close to it, because I can get 3 bridges down. I would have $7. I would have 5, that's a little rough. I think I need a little more money probably. But now I do have, say, crowns, 2 crowns in Lost City and Forum in the bottom. So that was another $1. So now I'm up to $8 and $5. But that'd be, I mean, that would let me get the crown and a watchtower and like a bridge. With the province. That's not awful. I guess the question is whether I think I need to double province now to be able to catch him if he gets like 4 duchies or something. He's dangerously close to just half the VP. He really has to like fully dud, I think. On the other hand, I still have a hand that could dud. Well, there's a page in there, right? So that's not the worst thing ever. I think I'm okay in this 8 cards. I think I can live with it anyway. Obviously, one more foreign play has some potential to help more in a number of ways, but also runs a risk of totally wrecking this sort of nice thing I have in mind. I'm gonna play it. Yeah, that's about it. So now I've taken that kind of aspect of it away. I had 6. Well, shoot, I just didn't know the forum count. That was just as bad. I'm not gonna ask for an undo, but anyway, now I just have to. Now I have to hit in my turn. Otherwise, I'm pretty much dead meat. He's basically getting kind of like half VP on his turn. This is okay start. He did dud. Okay, so there's something to be said here. Though not nearly enough. How much money am I going to need to make this happen if I get the bridge plays? Is this enough? I guess probably. Yeah, I mean it's more than enough, right? Seven buys. It's not more than enough. It's like exactly enough as far as the buys go. Oh boy. Thank God for duds. Again, I have no... I don't know. I don't mind it so much. Now we got a 5-2 that actually is good. Or at least it's not awful. Yeah, I mean, with the... He has to like do the math basically to make sure I can't catch him on the points, but this is not... There's nothing you can do here, hardly. Besides buy some... buy some stuff. Am I gonna take the embargo? I guess I'll take the embargo, sure. It's probably okay. If they had collided, you know, it doesn't really matter. They didn't though, so. This is not the best count hand ever, but it's fine. As long as you not with 4, it's okay. This is of course quite nice. So hopefully he doesn't hit his 5 yet. He does, so well, we'll see what he buys. Lack of buy here is really going to slow down anything you can do. Put a damper to whatever you want to try to do anyway. So with that in mind, I will buy a Cursed Village and then like a port, maybe. He opened silvers, so he had both his silvers in hand with the count. That's not a very exciting trash, but what can you do? I guess all I have is a count. I gotta buy something else now. War, nice. Nice. I got the harmless one. You got a not so harmless one. What's poverty do? Oh, I got another harmless one. I'm on top of it. I don't know what that means, but actually, I wonder if he'll let me undo that. So what do I want now? Do I want a gold and then green? Can also Mandarin. That's not gonna be it. I guess I'm gonna green now. This is gonna be a weird deck. Okay, he resigns. I don't know if my lead was such that I was uncatchable just because of the nature of the game, but it looked good for me. Anyway, so far these games have been quite close, and he lost a couple off some not so great shuffles. The last, and part of those were the way he built, but I don't know how full of responsibility he has to take for some of that stuff. So I have the humble opening option, which is not bad. Humble hovel, I mean, in general it's not that amazing. There are no villages. Got this vampire denizen kind of combo, works pretty well. There are cultists. You could banquet for something if you thought that was the move. I'll think about the banquet on my second. I think here I'm willing to do this. I guess you would banquet for a vampire, most likely. And then for your terminals, I guess you'd either play with the Margrave or the Cultist. You'd have to play that by ear, or you'd have to decide and do it. One of those. You just take the silver away. Given that he took the silver, the dead off, I'm willing to just buy a silver here. And then I'll take the vampire now. Pay the debt and take a look out. I'm reasonably happy with how these shuffles have been going. This lookout is not ideal, but, or this draw is, well, it's fine. Like, it's just fine. Oh, you can play with Necro, or you can play with both. Okay. Yeah. That's a possibility. Yeah, that can be... This is a great draw. So I can gain a 5 with the vampire. I can buy another vampire and then gain a... Oh, probably Den. Though it's before a shuffle, so there's something to be said for something else, but Dens are really nice. It's not impossible here to get 5 again. This time we'll take the dead. I don't need a third vampire, I don't think. What did I give him? A copper? That's nice. That I can live with. That's not that bad. If I find OE in here, then I may hit 5 again. Maybe I already trashed the OE. No, I didn't. So he just missed it this time. But that's okay. I'm willing to banquet actually here. The only question is whether I banquet for double Den. It's unfortunate I didn't get to play the bat there, but not that weird really. Poverty's nice. This is not that very likely to get to a 5, but... Ooh, poverty took him from a 5, I guess. That's great. Crumbling Castle does not inspire me. He got a Hobble Trash out. I guess with that hand I can see it. Obviously it wasn't like his first choice. The only other thing he could have thought about was a probably a am I gonna regret losing the Necro? Do I need 2 terminals? Probably not. I'm gonna draw this bat too late. Doesn't matter, everything is gonna be drawn dead anyway. or the thing is going to be drawn dead. Yeah, that didn't pan out. I don't know why I'm sort of playing this like I have a secret. Den. Oh wait, no, I already knew what it was. Never mind. That turn wasn't very good for me, to be honest. And this turn isn't going to be very good for me. He's skinny. I don't know if I have another thing to trash in there, but I sort of have to play it. Oh, I have that curse. Great, perfect, excellent, wonderful, perfect draw. Now we're in business. Can we hit him? Should I get a third vampire? Can we hit him with cultist fast enough here that we can make the junk happen? Or is that sort of a lost cause? He doesn't have any bats right now. That may be sort of a lost cause. If I had $6, I would probably... I might be willing to take another vampire here anyway. But with... what did I toss? Copper. I could tax something. What do I want to tax? Somehow I have to hurt him. I'm reasonably pleased with this deck. Which is maybe a bit of an understatement, actually. Oh no, my silver. Not my silver sex. I do need to figure out a way to kind of up the ante a bit here. I don't know what that means, but the Necro's in there. What else is in there? Bats, a couple bats. How many coppers did I play last time? And I had a copper in the discard. So I do have another copper in here. Bat, copper. Din, Necro. Bat, copper, Din, Necro. So if the copper's bottom decked, it's not a great. We'll just play. So we didn't hit a bat there, but everything else is fine. What does the small castle do? We could banquet for a den. I do like getting the dens. I could banquet den, silver, buy a silver. That's not too bad. He got 3 dens down that time, so he might be in a little better shape. I don't have to banquet for it. I don't have to buy the silver. I don't know why I'm doing this way. I did go a little too heavy on the banquets there. I'd say no doubt. The thing that hurts on the vampire is the sequencing of the 5 gains. Like, I would like to kind of gain this small castle and then buy the haunted one, but I can't do that. And I can't buy the small castle then use the vampire to gain the haunted one. It doesn't work that way. So we'll just see. I guess nobody has gotten whatchamacallit yet. the miserable. So if I draw through, I might get it. Obviously, I didn't. I was the bank with silver there was just greedy and stupid, just like really bad. But maybe I'll be okay. I can draw 9 cards here if I find the Margrave, and so that's okay. But I really ought to have been in a spot where there was more guaranteed that I would draw it. I ought to have been more careful. So at least we found the dens. So this turn won't be bad or anything. Now I need to get some money. But I should still be in okay position. He probably gonna get me with miserable here though. What is his 2VP? I don't know what the other ones are. Locust has been seen. There's like maybe a deck inspection one or something. The knights seem so the knights seem very tame here. I understand that the 5s hurt. Losing the 5s hurts quite a bit, but you can't play them. So I find that a bit. You can't play that many. I mean, I could gain them, or I could just try and shrug it off. I have a reasonable shot of finding Molly, which would be cool. Or the cantrip one would be cool too. I did get miserable there, so that's something. Sylvia would be alright too. Okay. So I could double banquet. That doesn't seem like the play. It would let me see 4 knights. I don't know why I want to see 4 knights especially, but I do wonder if the cultists were in worth a thing to do at some point, but yeah, I'm almost willing to take the knights just to not risk losing by that. Not even necessarily intending to play them a whole lot. Now he can't buy them. No, wait. That's not what that means. Oh, he's got a 3-1 din split. That's interesting. Hopefully he doesn't have his Margrave, but I'm kind of worried that following him into the Knights was just kind of silly. I guess I'll give him the gold. That's nice. I mean, that's a nice thing for him, for sure. Like, there's no doubt. Both those are pretty nice for him. So I don't find my Necropolis, so I'm not going to get to play any of these things. But I do get all my dins again, and I get to trash. So I don't really know if I want Michael or not. I do want... I mean, like, I know I want Molly if I can get her, but... the rest are kind of whatever. Well, the cantrip one is okay too. So and I would like to have enough money to buy a gold at some point. Okay, this is nice. He lost a silver, which is okay. So unless he can get two, I can get the cantrip one as well. He is... I'll just lose the silver. Does he have vampire? I can't imagine he would have done that unless he has vampire. Yep. I don't think it's gonna be enough to rescue him. But what do I know? So maybe we split them. Molly's gone, that's a little sad. Just play Destry. Oh, he hit his gold, that's great. Gonna have to buy silver here. I'm not actually sure if I'd rather lose Josephine or not, to be perfectly honest. Whether I'd rather lose Josephine or Michael. Alright, we got a den. Perfect. I have 3 knights. 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 3 knights. Okay. I do need a silver. Kind of would have liked the cultist to be in the deck, but this is okay too. I'd like not seeing knights, basically, because I would like to just finish the knight nonsense and just have the better deck. Would be my ideal. Let's go with these 3. Yeah. Maybe I don't even want to buy gold. Maybe I just want to keep attacking until I win the deck quality battle and then just finish off from there. Like his deck becomes messy. Becomes kind of very messy, I think. To the point where I don't think it really works. Yeah, like those are just fine with me. I will buy another silver. I'm not actually even sure of these silvers, but what is poverty? Does nothing. The first cultist trick worked. Oh, look at that bummer. Probably Sir Michael. He may start getting cultists now. I'm fine with that. I think he's just gonna have a hard time of it. He takes the small castle. That's interesting. So that means I don't have to play Margrave if I want to buy the haunted castle. It does have debt on it, so it's not clear that that's the thing to do necessarily. But there it is as a possibility. I may go down to just one bat here. Trash a bat to a bat is what I mean. And buy this haunted castle. Yeah, he'll resign. I think he can't. I don't think he can make this work without the I mean, he doesn't have to resign, but I guess I could have bought a copper there. What's diluted do? Can't buy actions. So now he's down to 2 dens of sin. Like I said, the world where the knights are gone, that's a world I'm fine with living in. For sure. May be able to trash a silver to a bat this turn. So there is a question of whether I need $8, so I think I will buy the opulent castle. Do I want the copper? I could have attacked with the cultist there, and it wouldn't have been that unreasonable. We're getting kind of close to a 3 pile. Do I have to keep getting vampires is the question. I think the answer is probably no. Like, it'll be okay if we just toss one of them. It won't be a huge deal anyway. Oh, I lost my humble castle. That's sad. Now I only have $7 unless I get to the opulent. What is this sprawling castle? I think there's probably a case to be made to start playing the cultist now. I mean, say what you will, he's playing this playing the game out. So I get to give him 3 ruins here. It's pretty good. Should help make his deck really awful. Oh, he doesn't even have a den down. Okay. That's good. I kind of wonder if I should toss Michael now. The knight thing is less of an issue. Him playing knights is even less of an issue. I will try to buy a province on my turn. So he's got 1 den down. Maybe it should have been a something else, but alright, that was a really brutal game as far as the attacks. That could have easily not gone 5-1 in my favor. I mean, very easily could have gone split or more in his favor, because a couple of those games were extremely close. So definitely lucked out on some bad draws from him, possibly because he made them a little bit. But anyways, it took 3 hours, but I don't feel as bad as I usually do after a 3-hour match. So thank you all for watching, those of you who stuck around or dropped in and out. and I will see you all later.